I'm in Zurich airport, the hub of Switzerland, and right now all the stores are forced to be closed because in Switzerland they just declare all the non-essential, from restaurants to bars to retail store, they're all closed now. In Switzerland, the entire country, is only pharmacies and grocery store are open. One can't really even get a haircut now. So the hub of an airport now turns into almost like a ghost city. And the strangest thing is probably the quietness of the airport, that no one even wants to talk to one another. So as I'm waiting for my flight to Singapore, I noticed that the flight attendants on Singapore Airlines, they would be wearing masks by themselves and they're not really talking to one another. Versus there's an United Air going to Washington, and I saw there is no social distancing and people are still talking to one another in close proximity. And that divergence is kind of interesting behavior. After being on the plane for 12 hours, now I'm in Singapore Changi Airport. As you can see, life has pretty much returned back to normal. Most retail stores are open, although people are vigilant in terms of wearing masks and even protective gear. And according to some of the local friends that told me, Singapore has right now something around between 100 to 200 active cases at any moment in time, which of course is much smaller than New York City, let alone Switzerland itself. And yet people seem to be extraordinarily vigilant in taking precautionary measure in every single social interaction. Although there are less than 200 cases in Singapore, Apple stores still remain closed. So imagine when the impact is going to spread throughout Western Europe as well as United States in the next phase. The economic impact to the global economy potentially could be even more enormous than what we have anticipated so far. So there were probably dozens of people filling out 3 forms. One form needs to be filled out twice, and then the other smaller form just filled out once. Not exactly inspire confidence, but we'll see what happens next. So there's really not a lot of food. Maybe the history of Hong Kong, where it battled against SARS back in early 2000. This time round, the city really have a strong feel of severity. So now that I've finished filling out the form, I've got a wristband with a QR code. So once I get back home, I need to scan it and activate the app so that the government can actually monitor my whereabouts for the next 14 days.